natural disasters. Questions we asking, no answers we are finding. For the stranger than fiction, things we witness happening. Every day we look around where there's more confusion. The problems intensify without no solution. Helplessly man stand in this wonderland, pondering his fate at some problems he creates. So I'm asking where do we go from here? That's my question to all mankind. Answer me where do we go from here? When UFO fly, man can't tell the reason why. And the Bermuda Triangle is yet still a marvel. Egotistic fanatics now rule our world. Their bombs and guns in full control. Tell me where do we go from here? Leaders of great nations are misleaders, indulging double deals and corruption. And in their quest for absolute power, becomes dictator and enslave the subjects they look over, creating a very explosive situation where the only
I want to say a pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And how are we doing this afternoon?
he's faced with nature's wrath, storms will break fast.
I hope each and every one of you guys are doing well.
Where is out? The question is where do we go from here?
It is Tuesday,
Question
the 8th day
to all mankind. Answer me,
of April.
where do we go?
And so,
When UFO fly, man can't tell the reason why.
it is just minutes after the hour of 6.
That even the corrupted man
It is another class in session program with yours truly, Royalty James.
and guns in total control.
Ask the question.
Do we go from here?
It is always a pleasure to be in your company. I know it's a busy weekend. It is one of the weeks whereby everybody is glued to the intercollegiate games. All the secondary schools are at the championship games at Kirani James Athletic Stadium.
Destruction, disaster, and fallout shelter. Day by day become more.
So we say a pleasant good afternoon.
United Nations, so full of contention, which poses this question: how man defend man against man's destruction? Dormant volcanoes prepare for fresh eruption. No food to feed the hungry of many nations, and as we know for sure,
Don't forget, coming up,
so there is no
the new National Party Youth Arm.
peace and hope.
They present Youth Pulse.
Shine on the knee.
That's an event you need to definitely
Where
stay glued to for more information
my heart
as the time gets closer, alright?
to all mankind.
On Easter weekend, Big Slice Promotion, they present
From here,
Bingo, Raffle and Dance at Brownies Hideaway. That'll be Saturday the 19th day of April.
to the triangle.
$6,000 up for grabs. $2,500 is your jackpot. The raffle
So tell me where
is 2 smart TVs, alright?
we go.
3 for $12. Sure, the bingo. 1 for $5. Bingo tickets are only $25. The raffle $20. And the dance is $10, alright? Come dance to the musical song of DJ Fishman. And come listen to DJs Smiley and Fishman Jr. Starting 6:30. You gotta be there, alright?
Answers, we must find some answer. But world leaders
this month
Have to try hard.
will be the month of the
Like your life
St. Max Day celebration.
more seriously.
A series of events will be happening, and so we will be giving you information in going forward as to the day and dates of those events
Without things like inflation,
right here on the Class in Session program, alright?
more damn impatience, and
Shice Promotion.
so that
Hey,
I'd have
a list of events are happening, man.
to one day
He too
would have
will be giving you information. And so,
we go from
I want to tell you guys,
my quest,
get ready for this one, alright?
mankind. Answer me where do we go from here? When innocent people fly, they are shut out of the sky. And the Bermuda Triangle is yet still a marvel. Egotistic fanatics still rule our world. Yeah, bombs and guns in total control. Tell me where do we go from here?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, so we are going to take this one down as we get into our conversation for today. We want to remind each and every one of you guys that you need to now get over to the YouTube subscription. Yes, we are going to be stepping away a bit just from the Facebook Live because we do understand that sometimes based on music that we play, sometimes on clips that we play, YouTube normally gives us so much red flags. Yes, and so we are now going to basically sharing most of our contents here on YouTube. Yes, there are days we're going to do our Facebook Live. Definitely, we're going to do our Facebook Live, especially on our interactive days. We are going to do our Facebook Lives. But on days when we are not doing the interactive so much, we are going to be stepping into the YouTube. So we're inviting many of you guys because on Facebook, we normally release the link for YouTube. And so all you need to do is get over, come over on YouTube and subscribe or follow the page or like the page, whatever it is. And you would be a part of the programs. You would not be able to miss it. What we do realize also, the technical team have indicated that we do get a clear and brighter presentation on our YouTube page. Yes. So we're inviting each and every one of you guys to, invite persons. Let them know that we definitely gonna be on YouTube and tag somebody right now. Somebody who often looks on the Facebook page and might be looking out for us. Let them know that we're now over on the YouTube page or they're on Facebook usually. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to definitely start our conversation today with a release from the health officials of Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. And this one, I believe, it's no joking matter. It's a serious matter. And so we all need to do what is correct. Yes, I think that it is all persons need to be cautious. Yes, sometimes we say to ourselves, well, I'm good and I'm safe, but you never know. The health officials in Grenada are reporting a significant increase in the number of sexually transmitted infections, the STIs. Data from weekly epidemiology report for week 13, which is the period that from Monday, the March 24th, to Sunday, March 30th, 2025, it shows that there is 125 cases of STIs. For the same period, in 2024, there was only 71, right? Yes, so I just want to go back to the little tongue twister. I want to ensure that, persons don't run with it and say, look at, he can't even pronounce the word, right? So it's epi, and I want to take my time and ensure that it is pronounced properly. You understand? Yes. So it's the epidemiological report. Yes. So I hope that I get it right. If I didn't, I am only human. Yes. But however, if you want to censor from it, just what is the mistake. But I want you to grasp from it the report that is coming out from the the health officials. 125 cases is a significant amount, and they're stating from the period Monday the 24th, yes, to March 30th. I believe even last year's number is a little bit significant. 71 is definitely a lot. Yes. So we implore of the persons out there, be cautious. Be cautious. As I said, sometimes we usually say it's not us. Sorry. Sometimes we usually say it's not me. It's not me, I good, I don't have nobody else, and so on and so forth. But sometimes, again, it is not us per se. Yes, it could be our partner, a friend, or that we might be, involved with. And so it is important that we pay particular attention to this. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to significantly touch on the issue in Carriacou, PT Martinique again. And so I can't believe that at this stage there's still conversations that we're hearing coming out from Carriacou and PT Martinique when it comes to the conversation of rebuilding and the rebuilding process that is happening. As I said, and I've been saying, it is a drag your foot method. It is one that I believe the government is not prioritizing, knowing that, hey, we're just months away from numbering this as its very first year. Yes, July is just around the corner. And so we want to be able to, as a people, understand why is it that the rationale behind all this is comparison to, when NNP was in power and Ivan passed. And instead of looking for the solution, there are excuses. Funny enough, in preparing for the program, I came across a clipping, and I definitely had to share it. This is coming out from Mr. Batiste. Just listen to what he says in this clipping.
In 2004, after Ivan, there were no CREF. CREF came in 2007. The whole of Grenada was destroyed and rebuilt better. There were no insurance money. NNP insured Grenada, and 20 days after Beryl, a check was placed in the hands of Dick and Mitchell-led government.
Right.
Dick Mitchell, NNP, never had the luxury of collecting $140-something million for reconstruction. And that is a fact. So don't tell me what happened under Ivan. When Ivan, it was Saki-Pelilot, every man for themselves, and government help where they can. Thanks to the new National Party under Kit Mitchell, they insured Grenada.
And ladies and gentlemen, if this is not the sentiment that should cause these persons to push more, to drive more to the country's development and well-being, I don't know what is. And nothing but a comparison. Comparison at this stage does not make sense. What are you comparing? To whom are you trying to prove a point? A suffering family, farmer, fisher folk in Carriacou and PD Martinique on the northern side of the island can't listen to your rubbish that when 2024, after Ivan, NNP did this and NNP did that. I cannot believe that in this day and age, yes, that we are reaching to that point where there can't be reasonable justification if there is a problem that arises. Grown men and women are on the back or the fact of trying to put across that every time a problem arises within this present administration, it is because the past administration did X, Y, or Z. It is baffling. Because, as is mentioned in the clip that I just played, this administration had the luxury, and I'm happy that he put it that way. They had the luxury of collecting a mammoth amount of monies, in which, ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter is, the new National Party administration, they saw it fit, right and correct, to ensure our little island. No, Dr. Mitchell is not a prophet. Dr. Mitchell and the administration and the cabinet decision to join the CREF program wasn't because they thought to themselves that they are going to be in power forever. They understood the importance, ladies and gentlemen, of being able to understand that there are going to be days like this. That there are going to be days like this. They are going to have occasions. They are going to have mishaps. They are going to have things that in which government sometimes may not have accumulated that funding to back up. And so they say, you know what? Let's ensure ourselves. Let's ensure that another Ivan, another Emily, another Hurricane Janet, another storm surge does not put us on the back foot. And so they ensured, and they would have accumulated that fundings of more than $100 million. With the passage of Hurricane Ivan, we saw destruction both on mainland and on Sister Isle. A percentage damage that would have basically caused even Dr. Mitchell, when he shared the experience, he was in shock. Asking himself the question that in the song that I just played, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? But through good leadership and stewardship and a proper team of men and women, we saw Grenada not just build back better, but build back faster and created a regional and international impact that even the world was in awe. This little country, after the passage of a devastating hurricane, was used as an example by many monetary institutions around the world, many political organizations, many governments and leaders looked upon this little Grenada after its recovery of Hurricane Ivan. And the people who lived within it were still dissatisfied. They were still dissatisfied. While the other persons around us was giving thumbs up, nice, great, no, wonderful. In 2008, they said no to the new National Party. Understanding that frying bakes does not just require for you to have a pot. And so, when the shit hit the fan and the administration at the time in 2008 was tasked with a responsibility of what was considered to be a world recession. So a man just stood up to a hurricane. You got rid of him. The other administration was saying, listen to me, let me see how you would stand up to a war recession, not a natural disaster. And ladies and gentlemen, they failed miserably. What happened? We saw in 2013, the people say or said, this is an administration that understands how to deal with circumstances when they arise. COVID-19, Grenada, while everything was happening around in the world and everything was downtown, persons were given quarantine and time and curfew. Again, this new national party stood together, stood steadfastly, and every public servant that was under the scope of the government of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique received a salary, while there were distorted flow within the country. This administration again stood up and brought service to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, ensuring at the time public servants who was the one out there getting it done, they were being paid on time. An administration who again stood steadfastly in the face of devastation. 2022. The people again shared dissatisfaction with the governance. And you see that smile on my face? I say to you, I'm a person who watch concurrent behavior. I'm a person who pays attention to the little things that people don't pay attention to. So Ivan came. The Lord said, let me see how you deal with that, Dr. Mitchell. He dealt with it. He gave the National Democratic Congress of 2008 a different thing. He said, listen to me, let me see how you deal with a world recession. They failed. He gave Dr. Mitchell a pandemic. The people shared dissatisfaction. And now, he have given to this administration, the NDC administration, a natural disaster. And he says, hey, let me see how you deal with this one. Understand how things work, ladies and gentlemen. And have we seen any form of improvement in being able to manage disaster or devastation in this country by this present administration? I can say to you, a resounding no. They don't have a clue as to what is happening. And so, as is mentioned, Dr. Mitchell didn't have the luxury of $100+ million when I even passed. With the increase in so many projects at the time that was happening in Grenada, both in 2004 and in 2020 in the time of Dr. Mitchell, that had to be placed on hold. And he put the people's business first. In a time when he did not have anything, persons still gave him a tap on the shoulder. Every person within the public service, not one person was sent home in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. Not one person was sent home by the administration of the past. They kept every person on the payroll. They didn't say, let me send home persons because, you know, we're not getting their services and we don't. No. Everyone was kept on a payroll. Maybe it was a time to say, okay, when there's some NDC within us, let me get rid of them. That did not happen. The Manis, the persons in the Empower program, the person doing the cleanings at the different school, the security officers, volunteers, was all kept receiving salaries. Ladies and gentlemen, the passage of one little hurricane, budget relate, projects cease and desist, but since before hurricane, Imanis within private entities, unconfirmed, but are being sent home, a number of them. And I say it unconfirmed because we have not heard it from a reliable source as yet. But I can say to you that we have heard it from persons within the program that persons have been sent home. In one of the circumstances where they're speaking of a specific program, there's an application of more than 500 young persons. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an administration that said to them, we could only take 200. Ladies and gentlemen, the performance that we're seeing on stage, the behind the scenes that are happening, when the lights are turned on, we are going to be in awe here in Grenada, Carriacou, PD Martinique. Sister Kate would have shared this story that when they had taken in a batch of young persons, I remember at Grenville bus terminus where you had to register. And when they were aiming at 500 or 700 persons, when the report went back to Dr. Mitchell as Prime Minister, there were over 1,000 plus young persons applying for the Imani program. When the cabinet briefing happened, Dr. Mitchell made the bold decision as a Prime Minister. He said, keep every single one of them. He said, make every applicant a possibility or probability. Ensuring every person can get onto the program. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone was kept. The conversation of the increase of Imani's stipend of $500 was another blatant lie, a form of misguidance. Because at the end of the day, the way it was regulated was that Imanis would have received their finances based on qualifications. And so if you're qualified or you're certified in a particular skill or field, your salaries would differ. Yes? And so what we saw, persons that are certified was all ranging between $1,200, $1,500. And those that did not have any form of qualification, they were ranging between $700 and $1,000. Now, when this administration saw that, they decided that they were putting everybody up to $1,200. Now, not being able to differentiate who qualify from who don't qualify, everybody gets in. Again, consultation, mismanagement, and few, as I was calling. A matter of fewing. Yes, just to make things sound good. But if we understand the line of work, that is how salaries are paid. The helper does not get the same as the mason. The helper to the electrician does not get the same amount of money as the electrician. The cook does not get more or same amount of money as the chef that is qualified. And so that is why the program was designed in a way so that persons would be able to push themselves forward. So if I'm working for 700 or 8, 9 thereabout, and I realize That the scale that I want to be in, and there's another Imani working for a grant too, and they're certified in something particular, I have to push myself to want to go there. Now you talk about NNP gave handout. NNP were training young people to understand what the walls of work or the wall of work was gearing them to have. And so, ladies and gentlemen, find out the percentage of persons who basically went from 700 to a grand two. So here they say, oh, we raised Imani's salary, and it ends there. And we are going to get the specific number for you guys as it relates to the percentage of persons that have been increased from 7 to 500. A lot of those persons now, believe it or not, are part of the persons who are sent home. Ladies and gentlemen, under the program with the new National Party, supervisors was getting the opportunity to engage workers and even make plea for some trainees, yes, to become permanent. A number of trainees are now employed at different institutions around Grenada, Carriacou, and Pidi Martinique through the Imani program, due to the fact that they were training. Supervisors were sending back good reports, and different jobs and entities were keeping those trainees. To teachers and doctors and nurses and some persons that you're seeing today came through the Imani program. And today, after that success story of many persons being able to build houses, travel, help their parents, we're hearing that this administration is sending some of those children home, this young person's home, asking them to reapply for some other program, Elevate program. And then when they do apply, you'll hear them telling those individuals, we can't take much. The National Democratic Congress continue to pave themselves as the perfect administration. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Take it from me, this is going to be the downfall of this administration. The minute time something comes up, the minute time a conversation starts, and it is geared in the direction of negative, immediately what you would hear being said is NNP, and is NNP, and is NNP. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm taking this clipping from one of the bloggers. And I remember very early in one of our blogs, should have mentioned this.
Check every single thing the NDC is doing. They do not want you to criticize. They don't want you to call them out. They just want you to act as if this is a perfect government. And I am struggling with that. I am struggling with that request, whether subtly or boldly. I am struggling to accept how you want us. It was okay to criticize the NNP dialogue. It was fine. But now that the NDC is in government, you want us to check everything and say, okay, perfect, check.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a statement that was made not today, not something that happened last week. I can say to you, this is a clipping from this blogger from a very long time ago. And if you realize, I did not speak anything and would not speak anything further after I make this the point that I'm wanting to make on the conversation of the female Nigerian problems that are happening, right? Because I am to myself in the belief that is a day problem. That is a Nigerian issue that must be addressed in Nigeria. Yes? And so I refuse to speak on it in any kind of way. Saw some person saying how Nigeria issue become our issue, and somewhat I agreed with it, but I'm saying it became that conversation because we have now started or inculcated the practice of having so many Nigerians being part and parcel of what is happening in Grenada. So when I saw somebody post it, and not somebody, my good friend posted it, I commented and I said, why are you saying that it should not be a Grenada issue? I mean, we see what is happening. Persons are blogging with the PM. They're dancing with the PM. Persons are featured speakers from Africa, Nigeria, those areas. So, now that the two countries are more knitted, the conversation of what happens in Nigeria or Africa is going to be a part of us now because we are basically more integrated with them than before. And I brushed aside the conversation because some persons spoke about the CBI issue and all these things and bam, 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 bam. But on Monday, yesterday, and let me say to you guys, don't forget, again, every first Monday or ever so often, every first or second Monday in the month, yes, once it falls on a Monday, there's a probability there wouldn't be any program. And I was supposed to say that since the starting of the program because of a meeting that I must attend. Yeah? So I just wanted to throw this out. Right? Now, on Monday, I saw the post made by Carla Walcott. And let me just read what the post says, and I'll try to eliminate a particular name for various reasons. Bookers, as she said, I'm clocking in early. I saw a clip posted by MP Ron Redhead page about the Nigerian woman getting approval under NNP. What is hilarious about it is this. The CBI man, who was not even the CEO then, claimed that she got her passport 2 years later in 2023. I see some big people jumping on there in the comment section. One even said, tag GBN. A few questions. When did she get her citizenship? That is, her citizen certificate, and subsequent passport. I know something about me tongue twisting today. Yes? What is the legal process time for CBI? I will help you all with this one. How come she did not sue someone for collecting her money, being approved and not getting a citizenship? Yes? When you get approved from the CBI unit, you are a citizen, or is it when you go through the process, pay and get your certificate, other documents, and then passport? Watch. All you good, Have some bright people looking dumb in the comment section. Ron blocked me from the comment section, as she said, and so on and so forth. I would not read that part. But ladies and gentlemen, you see this? You see, you understand what is being said? So now let me get for you the actual post made by Mr. Ron Redhead. Right? It says, the essential to deal with the facts when sharing information with the public. The Nigerian businesswoman in question received an MIA CBI approved under the previous administration in November 2021. Her situation is simply related being wanted for questioning for her role in funding Nigerian politics. Not much to do with Grenada. That I'm agreeing with. Right? But what I am in disagreement about, why still try to zero it in to when she was approved and when she got her citizenship? Now, if it is that, okay, it doesn't make sense, I don't even address that. But ladies and gentlemen, it goes to show, as I said to you guys, if this administration back is against the wall and wanting to make them survive is to not mention NNP at all, they dead. If their back is against the wall and they say, listen to me, we're shooting all our volume, right? The only how you're going free is only if you don't mention the past administration. They are dead persons. Every issue that happens within the state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, my God, the National Democratic Congress must mention the new National Party administration. And that bothers me. Ladies and gentlemen, that bothers me. What do we always tell our children, our co-workers, persons in position always employ? Listen to me, when you're wrong, or if there is any wrong, you accept and you move on. It does not have anything to do with Grenada. That's the fact. It's a Nigerian issue. It's the fact. Persons would have brought up the CBI and the passport conversation. Nobody's blaming anybody. The fact of the matter is, now if it's that way you're wanting to go, why is it everything else was on a pause when you took over office in 2022? Everything went on hold. Everything went on hold. Projects, programs, all these things went on hold. So when you come and tell me somebody applied and approved in November of 2021, yes, and proper scrutiny was supposed to be done by you after 2022, and the approval went forward. You didn't red flag it. You didn't dismiss it. You accepted the approval. So what is your point? What is your point? Why is it must come to, at the end of the day, okay, well, NNP approve it. How does it reach to that? Why must it reach to that? It must be, ladies and gentlemen, to satisfy something else. It must be to satisfy something else. There must be something in the matter beside the pestle. So if your main function is only to look good, I have a problem with that. I mean, nobody wants to look bad intentionally. This is not what I'm saying. But come on, no man. Come on, no man. A simple issue. A simple issue. As you mentioned, as you aforementioned, it doesn't really concern Grenada. But why would you want to immediately cast a blame when it was approved and all these things? Ladies and gentlemen, the further we get into the year, we are going to see a lot of more unveiling of this. Sad to say, there is more unveiling of this kind of behavior. Because you see, the way in which they would have phrased everything, some things are coming back to haunt them. That is what is going on there. Some things are coming back to haunt them. So, the ladder in which they place themselves on, they are now realizing that some things will bite us in the butt. And ever so often, when it happens, you know what would be the line? Don't listen to them. Sidetrack. Let's watch the progress that is happening. And I've seen it already starting to happen with Honorable Williams. Yeah? But we come in. There are things that are being revealed in different places. We are hearing about the WASH program. Somebody would have called in this morning on the Shaggy's program this morning, and they would have expressed certain things when it comes to the program. And I'm hoping that I could get it this morning, because I want all you to hear it. Let me see if that's around that time, yeah? See if there is it here. See if I get it. Hold on.
Work with the existing building. It's poor people you're dealing with. They mustn't miss. The people who supervising the program mustn't miss. Good morning, sir.
Hi.
Listen.
Good morning, Shaggy.
Yeah, you're hearing me? We are hearing you.
Yes. Long time.
Yeah.
I just called to speak about a program from the government side. I think they're having it like they call it the WASH program, trying to eliminate pit latrine. It's a very good program. If you're coming from the government side, very good program. But you have a program existing before that, doing the same battement that it's for the poor people, eliminating the same pit latrine. But Shaggy, they come in a community in Lakabeki, my area, doing the program. And I in the program doing bathroom and toilet. But the program start to get very crooked. The people who oversee the program, they start to get very crooked and very bubble. Because you're trying to eliminate me from doing a height of 8'6", and you giving a shake hand for other people to do the same thing. When you tell me we going by the plan, but you see, if you have an existing building, you have to work with the existing building. It's poor people you're dealing with. They mustn't miss, the people who supervising the program mustn't miss the objective. The objective is to eliminate pit latrine, and you're doing that for the poor people. You don't go in and build a new building. You understand? And the building going in the back of the people's house. Right? But you have a big contractor who have the foreman and the work, and the foreman making mischief, right? And the contractor eating our food outside, dropping blocks to every program. And they try to stall me what? You have I am decking what cast already, Shaggy. When for them to drop the blocks right, asking for the blocks. With nobody else in cast decking, you know. We could have way advance if you drop the blocks for me. You don't drop it, they wait until all the other people cast two decking, then they drop the blocks for me. So you have some obstacle in the way. I don't know, it's like you have fall. You choke good food for them, you buy food in the store, you choke good food for them, and they will still go below the cocoa and scatter dot. And that is what. You have good food in your cry, you're getting a pay every month over about $3,000. But people who see in trouble in the program who getting $8,000 for working a whole month, and you have to pay help, you have to pay people to help you dig the holes and so on. You're getting a little and nothing. And the guy is still trying to make mischief. I think I could have failed.
We reach your time 7 o'clock.
I hear you.
We reach your time 7 o'clock. We have to cut off at 7 o'clock.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, man.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you hear it from the horse's mouth. So it's not Sister Jenny just calling down corruption, or Sister Jenny assuming, or Sheldon, or Royalty James just assuming. When the lights come on that dreadful day, and shine upon the National Democratic Congress President administration, many of us are going to see their very own supporters ridicule them on things that we would have spoken about. So you hear what is happening. The level of corruption that is happening. He started by saying it is a good program. So it's not a condemnation, you know. It is dissatisfaction in what he sees that is happening. Yes? So he don't hate the program, you know. He commended it. He went on to say, it's not a new program. It's a program that has been happening before, where you eliminate bathroom and toilet. Latrine, pit latrine, and you put in bathroom and toilet. When we said that, they were lying. That never used to happen. Okay? No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand those things as they unfold. Understand how fast they're happening. Understand how they are going to happen. And how they are going to affect the livelihood of many. But it doesn't end there. We go into our next one. Listen again. Don't worry, there's a little clippings. We did a little clippings in it. So just listen to it.
Ole, come. Gather around.
Agriculture is full-time employment. And those are things that we absolutely recognize as a government. Assistance must be provided to our farmers.
Them is the biggest poppy showers. Them guys are one. The man on the ground is suffering.
It's not I and I who go we perish, everybody. All them children. I mean, it can be without food. Tell me. How long you could spend without food?
Without food, a nation is likely to perish. Over 25 short crop farmers from the Maribor area in St. Andrew, who operates their farming activities in Ludborough, St. Andrew, are expressing frustration as their crops are dying for the lack of water. The disgruntled farmers told GBN it's been months since their main water source has been cut off from them. They are saying with little rainfall at this time of year, it's even more challenging.
Well, the situation is here now in Ludborough here is that our water source been cut off from us by Miss Alison Haynes. She is the chief agronomist of the country.
The livelihoods of these farmers have been disrupted, leaving the young people questioning youth involvement in agriculture.
Asking the government if you're interested in youths in agriculture, females in agriculture, that you find a solution and that you will please give us back the...
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. Sometimes we hear story and we say, oh, we use it for political propagandas. Now, whatever it is circumstances arising over these farmers, there ought to be a solution. And I don't care what you tell me. Your purpose is to find solution. I don't expect the government to send now and put a pipe and pay the bill every month. That is not what I expect. I wouldn't expect government to do that. But ladies and gentlemen, if government can't find solution to problems within the states of Grenada, Carriacou, and Pidimati, get out of here. Get out of what the people thought you could have done. Ladies and gentlemen, the understanding by this administration is to give with no follow-up. So build her a new house, give her the key, turn your back. Yes, don't give her no work. So how she pay, she bill, how she do whatever she business. Build a new road. Build nice road. But let the bush grow. Come all in the road after. The main thing is that you build the road. Yes, you give farmers livestock and you give them whatever. Yes, And you don't send vets, you know business, you don't telling vet to check them and whatever, give them a little guarantee at the end of the 2-3 months that they might, just to help them in the first 2-3 months in understanding what is happening. Give a fisherman a boat, just give him a boat. Don't care if he could fish or not, just give him a boat. We don't need to buy gas on the boat, just give him a boat. Yes? Get somebody, you're giving them money and they're making little noise and for you on social media, and you're just giving them money. You don't care what they're taking with the money. You don't care what they're doing with the money. Just give them and make nice. This is the mindset of these young politicians. Give them and don't care what is the outcome thereafter. Yes? And they should realize that government's issue is to find the solution. Sometimes the problem itself requires you and me, not just you, government. It requires you and me. So we identify the problem. We bring the problem to you. I remember in the time when Millie Bog came around and was threatening farmers in Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. The fact of the matter is, Grenada at the time did not have persons that was qualified to deal with the millibugs. And so they had to seek consultations, regionally and internationally, as to how do we alleviate that problem. And what did it require? It required the farmers, the government of Grenada, and regional and international sources to curb the issue. And that is how government works. No, we're not expecting you to fix every problem, but you ought to be able to meet people halfway to find the solution. Some circumstances, yes, you got to go all the way. But all you call it a note, so I don't ask you all to go all the way. Last week I had the privilege to traverse the constituency of St. Mark's. And I went up to the Fountain, Digo Peace, Redmond area. And ladies and gentlemen, you can't say to me that persons are not conscious as to what is happening around them. We could have gone many places. I was accompanied by the parliamentary representative. And we identified projects that started productive projects. Farm roads. You go and meet where huts was already built to start programs. Sleepages, where government reached a certain point and it was just left there. It is fascinating to me that in this day and age, we are accepting excuses from this administration on the basis, ladies and gentlemen, of what? The past administration. They did that, and so they did that, and we could do that. That is what it is. It's sad, but it's true. A young person, young female, in that clipping, calling on government. Young people, contact the New National Party Youth Arm for me, please. Let us talk to you guys in Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. Let us walk you through a process and an administration that understands youth and youth development. Let me walk you through a leader and a leadership that understands that priority must be given to the youthfulness of your country, not omitting experience and education and certification and qualification. But it is important that your youthful population grow. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is an example. Imagine a young woman. I'm certain one of the persons interviewed is her father, her grandfather, so on and so forth. And she was proud enough to stand up and take that interview. Proud enough to do it. It goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, that there are still young people. And to hear a young woman, I don't know where the Prime Minister and them head is. All the fancy things. NNP was construction government. But every time you see the post, is a road. They build a 2 little 10 by 10 house and everybody Bambai Hotel. Bambai Hotel. Because we have here in Grenada gifts granted to us when it comes to dealing with the issue of housing. And the government would not address the issue that we're asking. What is the issue with the different housing schemes and projects that persons cannot go into them? And in some circumstances where you say persons have bought them, why are they not living in it? But we can't get an answer. But yet we see ever so often posted all over. A new house handover day and a house build back day. And we like that. We like that. That feels good. Soon, when the lights come on, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure being in your company again for another wonderful evening. It is just about 2 minutes or so gone past the hour of 7. And this is where we pull the curtains down on another class in session program for today being Tuesday, the 8th day of April, 2025. As I said, I know many of you guys are glued to your television, and it is the intercollegiate games or the secondary school games taking place at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. I want to say congratulations to the leading team heading out of day 1. But I'm bleeding maroon and beige. Yeah? St. Mark's Secondary, my old alma mater. Yes? So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you guys who joined us late, we are now letting persons know that most of the programs will be done here on YouTube. Yes, we realize that sometimes, sometime of late, we have been having issues with the Facebook page. And so we want to cease just a bit, not to take away in its entirety, because there are days we are going to be on Facebook. We will indicate those days. But, however, more of our programming will now be happening here on YouTube. Yes, again, I said last week that some of the programs now are going to be broadcasted or pre-recorded and then broadcasted at the time, and that is because we are trying to basically keep that consistency with the program. Yes, because we do realize that sometimes even if we have to move, I have to do something at the hour, I can record just about an hour in the day to be able to, post it at the time. So instead of missing it in its entirety, we can record it, pre-record it, and have it played right here on YouTube. Yes, so I want us to get accustomed to that. It is going to become more and more regular. We, however, as I said on yesterday, we had the meeting and we attempted to do the pre-recording, but, one of the persons who normally help manage that is actually at the National Stadium doing the whole recording. And so today, everything was set up by him, and it will be for tomorrow. And I'm thinking about doing Thursday. I'm thinking strongly about doing Thursday. So you guys should also, stick around, and you guys should be able to get information about Thursday. Yes, and if I'm broadcasting it, it would be way before Sister Jenny's program. And I know it's a time when most persons might be watching the internet. So Maybe we record it maybe sometime later on in the evening, maybe from 7 to 8 instead of 6 to 7, because brother Sheldon comes on at the 8 o'clock hour, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I now make way as we get ready for Talking Point, which will be on later on tonight. And I pray that many of you guys have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. God's blessings to each and every one of you guys. Catch you right back here again tomorrow with another class in session program. Go St. Mark's Secondary School. For those of you guys who are supporting all your other schools, okay, but I am St. Mark's Secondary. All right. So God's blessings. Catch you back here again tomorrow, same time, same place, as we have another class in session program. All right.
Times here of man-made and natural disasters. Questions we asking, no answers we are finding. For the stranger than fiction, things we witness happening. Every day we look around where there's more confusion. The problems intensify without no solution. Helplessly man stand in this wonderland, pondering his fate at some problems he creates. So I'm asking where do we go from here? That's my question to all mankind. Answer me where do we go from here? When UFO fly, man can't tell the reason why. And the Bermuda Triangle is yet still a marvel. Egotistic fanatics now rule our world. Their bombs and guns in firm control. Tell me where do we go from here? When UFO fly, man can't tell the reason why. Corruption